Ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Beyond our Rule Ripper. The game is out already. It came out a couple of days ago. If you're watching this live, though, it comes out this Friday, so please go and check it out. Last time we were speaking to all of our friends, I think. What's this? Oh, this is nice. Check this out. Oh, I can look at all different people. It did say that, I think. Cocktail. Torif says it actually comes out tomorrow. Whoa, it comes out tomorrow. Oh, it's the 14th. Oh, is it? It's Thursday today. You're right, Torif, it does come out tomorrow. It's Thursday today if you're watching this live. I don't need to tell you that. You know it's Thursday. I didn't, I thought it was Wednesday. Yeah, so you really are right up to the nail. Is that the expression? Billiards comment, despite all our bad luck, at least we got lucky in having a bartender with us. Still too soon to jump to conclusions, but his judgment and composure could also be a big help. Plumber Pancake says, I didn't. Yeah, it's Wednesday. No, it's not. It's Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday again. Doesn't seem very friendly, but he's probably scared. Ending up here at his age is awful. I really hope he doesn't make a mistake. He'll regret for all of his life. Kind of seemed a bit like a threat, didn't it? This is me, is it? I'm not the most suitable person for this, but I do have two things in my favour, optimism and stubbornness. Time will tell if that's enough. There were still places left to check. Okay, yeah, so we've spoken to a couple of people. We're in a bar. It's like 999, but if it was all in a bar. So far. Maybe it's not all in a bar. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Interesting, Mr. Bond. Anyway, so it's like 999. There were still places left to check. His next destination would be... Where are we going to go? This is my favourite bit of the game so far. I love this. Where are we going to go? So we have... Oh, have we only got one place to go to? Oh, we can change like this. We have 3 places to go to. I want to be hit all the way over here. Send me that way. Boop, 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 boop. Nice little detail. Didn't have to do that. But it's cool that you did. He decided to make his way to the area with the large fish tank. In addition to the tank, there were tables and sofas, and among them a person. The young woman, known as Coffee, who wasn't deaf. Interesting to make that distinction. She was investigating alone, to no surprise from him, even barely after meeting her for the first time. One needn't be a private detective to clue into the likely fact that she wasn't the most sociable person there. And being trapped there with people she didn't know wouldn't help, and yet... It's because things are the way they are that we should help each other out. We can't get through this all alone. He had to earn everyone's trust, and of course he was willing to trust them in return, but it shouldn't be blind faith. They had to talk, know each other and understand each other, stand together as victims of the same crime. Unfortunately, getting to a mutual understanding with others had never been his forte, so he had to give it all. Yeah, he had to give it his all to make it happen. And that young woman, Coffee, could potentially be one of the biggest obstacles on the way there. One he had to overcome to achieve the joint alliance he desired. What should I say to her? How should I act? Casual? Serious? Cool? Collected? Last time went awful. I guess a different approach would make the most sense, but... No. To make her open up to us, I have to prove to her I don't have any bad intentions. I need to be friendly. It's the most natural way, and acting differently now would make me look suspicious. Am I overthinking it? It's not like I'm trying to flirt with her. Isn't it, Billiards? I'm not even looking for a friendship, just, realizing he had to stop, he gave himself a small whack to the head. A very visual one. So he looked like a crazy person. He didn't have enough time to waste deep in thought. In just a few hours, the danger would turn unavoidably lethal. It was time to act. He approached her with determination, while she kept looking around the place, seemingly completely oblivious to his presence. Even after having stood there for a couple of minutes. And... Coffee? She looked at him for a moment, once again confirming she wasn't deaf, and with no response, went back to what she was doing. Did I screw up again? Already? What did I do wrong? She doesn't have anything against me, does she? No, it made sense. In fact, as much as he didn't want to admit it, behaving otherwise was the strange way to act. Each person had a different reaction to a stress situation like that one. Still, some seemed to have gotten too comfortable too quickly. Perhaps even himself. In fact, maybe he was the one acting the strangest. Her decision to only talk when necessary and keep everyone away was probably the safest and most logical approach. And at the same time, it was slightly worrying. Isolation could put her in danger. Slightly concerned, he went up to her. Hey, want me to help? No. For a moment he smiled just from the simple fact that he had received an answer, but the smile disappeared as soon as he understood what she'd said. I understand that you don't trust me, but we should help each other out to survive. She's great. She's my favourite so far. I've got multiple favourites. They're all my favourite. The others could see you as suspicious if you keep your distance too much. And, so what? Her words caught Bill by surprise, leaving his mind blank for a moment. Well, you know, that could be dangerous. I can take care of my own. Go somewhere else. Total rejection. Her straightforward answers left no room for comebacks, and insisting on it would most likely only have the opposite effect. He hadn't expected making a joint alliance was going to be easy, but things were much worse than he'd anticipated. Even so, he had no intentions of backing down. He considered his inability to do so as his one and only gift, so he had to make good use of it. That was the time to act. If the group shattered from the start, it would all go from bad to worse. The only thing that could lead to was a tragedy. Let me understand that sentence. The only thing that could lead to a tragedy. Let's move past it. Well, I guess I just wanted to make it clear that we shouldn't see each other as enemies. We can't let this game influence us. Do you prefer all of us dying together? No. No, we have to escape together, every one of us. Sure. Sure? What is that supposed to mean? I thought she was looking for a way out, but... You aren't going to join this madness, are you? Not silence again. Who knows? No doubt left. He did not know how to deal with that person. At least she hadn't said yes. Could he consider that a partial win? Let's just go for now. He'd lost the battle, but not the war. He left the area to coffee and went back the way he came. There were still places left to check. His next destination would be... Where should we go? No. I want to end up here at the end. Let's go here. Boink. Hello. Oh, billiard table. It's me. Bill headed to the counter. Not too far from it, between the entrance and the counter, there was a billiard table. Maybe it was because of the name he'd been given, but it was the first thing he noticed. A game he'd never tried. Why was he billiards? It could be that the names were given at random, but some seemed to fit, or so he thought. There really wasn't any rule forbidding them from saying their real names or forcing them to use those nicknames. But nobody seemed willing to give their name in that situation, and it was quicker to use the nicknames they'd been given than thinking up new ones. While he had no idea of the reason behind his own, he wasn't against it. Bill was a short name, easy to remember, and ordinary. Nothing wrong with it. Billiards. Pool. Now that I think about it, it's also a game where numbers are important, right? They want us, numbered players, to eliminate each other, just like how you eliminate numbered balls in a certain order. I might be overthinking a pretty dumb metaphor, but now I can't get that thought out of my head. A mental image has been born inside billiards. What? What's happening? You can now access the drop pocket. Okay, what's that? What? Who's that? Oh, is that the bartender? Would you fancy a drink? Someone addressed him from the counter. The man with the nickname Cocktail had put himself behind it, and before him were the men named Darts and Poker. Poker was drinking, while Darts seemed focused on his barman. He approached them. Oh, off I go. Right now I'm not. Wait, is drinking here safe? A concern suddenly struck him. They were in some unknown bar, basically having been kidnapped. Could they trust that the drinks weren't dangerous? They could be a trap. The new menu is on the left of the box if you missed it. This here, I did see that pop up. Click on a ball to switch between its rule and its clarification. Oh, this is awesome, I love this. Intended killing is forbidden, except with an accusal or being the spy. You must remain inside the Golden Jack. I like the noise. Links can last a maximum of 1 hour and can only be formed once for each pair. It's just a shortcut to check the rules. Yeah, cool. I like this. This is great. Who else is here, by the way? We've got Darts, Cocktail, Poker, Godfather, and Billiards. Okay. Yeah, I love this. After 10 hours pass, players will have to end it immediately with their suicide. Okay. I can't say it with total confidence, but I do believe that we can drink without fear. After all, we've already been poisoned as part of this game, supposedly. I don't see a good reason for why they should poison us again, or put any other dangerous substances in these bottles. Exactly. We'll find out for sure soon, anyways. Moreover, the drinks seem to be in good condition, on top of being an exquisite selection. If there's something I can't fault this owner for, it's their good taste in beverages. I even found a bottle of Taste of Vices, the legendary wine that's said to have an otherworldly taste, but one that only those with a divine palate can enjoy. He clearly knew a lot about the subject. On the topic of nicknames that fit perfectly, that was probably the best example. They had only just been put in that state of affairs, yet Cocktail was serving drinks in the most natural way possible. His ease, his way of talking, his ability to serve drinks, and his expertise. All signs pointed to him being a bartender, or something of the sort, and he had no intention of hiding it. Perhaps that was his way of calming down in that situation, to act as if he was working. I believe we can apply that to this place as a whole. This is not an abandoned bar. The one behind all of this, its organizer, has to be the owner. Any statements you want to make? Are you, oh, I see. Are you by any chance accusing me of something? No, that would be too obvious. But if you are as much as an expert as you seem to be, it's possible you might know this bar. I'm afraid not. A shame. After a small pause, he lifted his gaze from the barman and... What's the best place to hide a tree? In a forest. And immediately went back to his screen. He didn't like that. Cocktail will remember this. I see, well, we won't get bored, that's for sure. Barman? Another one. Wait, maybe barman isn't the best way to call you. Could get confusing. Oh, right away. As for my name, Cocktail is probably the best option. Getting out of his little daze, Cocktail served him another glass. A tree. Dart was implying something that everyone there seemed to have understood. Cocktail wasn't amused at all, but tried to hide it, showing his professionalism. Poker was the other way around, grinning, getting some fun from it. In that situation, how could anyone smile? And not just Poker. Darts also appeared to be getting some enjoyment out of it. Doesn't look like it though, does it? How could someone be playing detective with their life on the line? He couldn't believe it. Maybe it's all a hidden camera prank, right? They're probably thinking that. Even though he wanted to believe it, hoping that it would all go well, he couldn't. He had to assume the worst case scenario and act upon it. Something made him do it. Something. Are you feeling alright? Yes, well, no, not really. I was just thinking though. Oh, I see. You haven't come to terms with this yet. Well, yeah, same here. Did you all check out this thing's secrets? Poker raised his barman. Unfortunately, attending this counter has occupied all of my time for now, so I wasn't able to. Well, there's something good. This owner isn't completely the worst. What's good about any of this? The objectives. You know that thing mentioned in Rule 9? We don't have one in the first hour, so we can chill. Are you sure about that? We might not have any, but we can't just simply lie back. For starters, we have new data every hour. Ah. That. Yeah, I saw. Now that you mention it, I didn't. Due to Rule 7, they could only unlock one data per hour. He still wasn't quite sure what it meant by data, but the best way to find out was to see one. That appeared to be the main component of that game, making use of the information to deduce the numbers of the other players to then purge them. He didn't want to take part in it, especially if there was personal info about the others. There was a potential way to discover his own number. Still unknown to him for some reason, he refused. Although, was there really information about them? Having their privacy invaded on top of the kidnapping wasn't surprising anyone. It wasn't surprising anymore, but hurt nonetheless. With resignation, he opened the data menu. It was a simple numbered list, which could be opened in any order. According to the rules, they could only unlock one data per hour. However, the one in possession of Rule 7 could ignore that limitation. As there was no indication of its contents that could guide him, as there was no indication of its contents that could guide him, he decided to start with number 1. Let's do that then. Likes black coffee, 1579. Something ordinary and harmless, while at the same time disturbing. How did their captain know about their tasting coffee? Instinctively, he sneaked a glance at the counter. He felt bad about it right away, as nobody was drinking coffee at that time, so the people that like black coffee are 1579. So, intended killing is forbidden, except with an accusal or being the spy. Any indirect conscious involvement in a killing, an accomplice is against this rule. Okay, 5. Immediately after a rule's death, the player with this number will have the option to swap it with the fallen rule. If the rule is swapped, the player will obtain the rule of the deceased and it will remain in the game. Rule 5 will disappear instead. The swap won't be revealed and the data won't be changed. Okay, 7. Oops. When data is revealed to others, no part can be omitted or faked, and each player can only unlock one data per hour. Revealing only applies to data the other doesn't know. Faking includes entirely made up data. If the data isn't in any barman, but is correct, it will be valid. Speculation is allowed as long as it's not claimed to be real data. When data is revealed to others, no part can be omitted or faked. I see. Faking includes entirely made up data. Okay. And 9 is this one. At the start of every hour, each player will be assigned a secret objective that has to be completed before the hour ends without being discovered. Okay. Cool. Assuming this is true, I don't have any of those 4 rules. Too bitter for his taste. He sighed in relief. Of the 10 possible rules he could possess, 4 were now out of consideration. That's good to know. So what we could potentially be is 2, 3, 4. Okay. 2. You must remain inside. 3. One player will have to say the number publicly in each council. Okay. 4. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately with a suicide. Okay. 5 is not us. 6. In an accusal, the person with the accused number will have to abstain from voting. If a majority is reached but the chosen person is incorrect, those who for that person won't be able to vote for... What? Those who for that person won't be able to vote for them again. The ban to the accusers includes abstaining as a way to add the vote to the majority. If a majority is reached but the chosen person is incorrect... Oh, I see, Torov says those who voted for that person. Those who voted for that person won't be able to vote for them again. I see. Okay, cool. Oh, hang on, we haven't done them all. There was 8 and 10, wasn't there? 8. Messaging is only allowed when responding to a received message, requiring a coherent response in less than 10 minutes after being sent, unless a council is underway. Did we look at that one? Yeah, we did. Okay. But that relief didn't last long as he realised what it meant. Not having Rule 1 meant someone else from the 9 people there had it. Someone with the right to kill. As for number 5, it was the wildcard rule, which could be swapped with a dying one. As he wanted to avoid any death, it wasn't of any interest to him. Not having Rule 7 meant that someone else had access to a large amount of information from the start to freely use. Lastly, 9 meant he had to take the objectives he'd received seriously. Though there was one piece of good news, the chance of this rule being 2 hadn't gone away, so he could get out and look for help. And number 7 can grab all the data straight off. That's a huge advantage. True, very true. Likely the most dangerous player at the start. While I'm at it, I'll check the objectives too. No objectives are distributed on the first hour. Like Poker had mentioned, there was no objective. Even so, he took a look at help. Inside he found a list of all possible objectives that could be received every hour, among them the spy, the objective mentioned in Rule 1. Only after the 6th hour. Discover the secret objective of one player and publicly reveal it. If you're correct, it won't count as revealing your objective. That and the accusations were the only ways to kill for those who didn't have Rule 1. But it was more than a method, it was an obligation to kill in order to comply with 9. Did it have any relation to the spy mode exclusive to number 10 in the link menu? That player alone could know the answer. The other objectives could also be a danger. But that was the biggest threat posed by the continued survival of Rule 9. He put his barman away and got up. Back to Jinupedi. Dot is right. Even without an objective, we can't waste any time. He says that, yet he's still just sitting here. Yes, but not getting drunk. First things first, and first priority is getting my head cleared. By getting drunk. Right. No, I'm not going to drink that much, just a little bit. Then I would advise you to stop soon. Yes, and I'll go search around some more. Have fun. Alright, let's do it. He left, heading somewhere else. There were still places left to check. His next destination would be... Where are we going to go next? Just the one. Oop. Bill went down the steps to the lower section of the bar, where he had woken up. The area looked like an extension so the bar could have more clients. On the other side, he could see a table bigger than all of the others. And between him and it, on one of the smaller tables, were Lime and Jin having a chat. My two favourite. Lime sitting literally on the table while Jin was on a chair. Of course she is. Bill! Omi, get your Ashiri over here. Hayaku! No idea if that's French. Probably French. What? I mean, she's definitely for French. She's French for real. Her wide smile didn't come off as very trustworthy, yet he didn't sense any ill will from her. What sort of education did your parents give you? No Nipponese? Well, not exactly something your parents teach you, is it? She's French. Nani? It was still too soon, too daring to try unraveling the enigma that was that girl, but her intense vibes were completely different from those he felt from the others. I like that she's always winking at me. Was he being too trustful? Perhaps as he couldn't say with complete confidence that no one there would, out of nowhere, stab him in the back at any time. But when it came to Lime, I don't think she's even thinking about the game. Bill went up to the table and sat with them. Any look over here? Did you find out anything? Tables and chairs. Bill, my boy, it's lamentable to say. No, lamentable to say. But we found nothing useful. As a wise old man said, if you want to be a richer, don't go looking for gold, let the gold find you. She's French. For the love of God, Lime. What? That was unacceptable. Jin's winking as well. What in the world is wrong with these two? And if that wasn't enough, they give us a texting app, but don't let us use it. Huh? Where did that come from? You know, the message app thingy in these tablets. If we could at least use it, this whole thing would be a tiny bit less awful. The messages are only for us. Highly doubt we can send them to people outside. Are you sure? No, trust me, I'm very sure. It's explained on the damn thing. Okay. Numbers. Only numbers. Also known as us. The intriguing thing is that apparently it shows our numbers, not our names. Only the 8 can send them, right? Not quite. It's the only one that can start a chat and continue it. But we have to answer, if talked to. Then, what the Helsinki are they waiting for? Jeez Louise. Don't worry, dear. I'm sure they'll send the marriage proposal soon. Oh my. Anyways, let's leave that aside. Bill, what's your view on things? What things? You know, the situation. What did he think was the answer to that? Any idea what all this is? To be honest, I'm still pretty lost. Still, if you remain still, you're never not going to be lost, dude. That's not... Wait, huh? No, that's not what I meant. I'm still thinking, but I won't give up until I find the way to solve this. Even if you keep thinking forever, that doesn't mean you're going to find something. Or what? Are you one of those idiots that think by simply having hope they'll be saved? Like in Danganronpa? Not sure how to respond to that. Personally, I'd say he's the type of guy who'd call ladders stepladders. Not sure what kind of guy that is. Deja vu, that sounds oddly familiar. But regardless, I guess Ginger's right. Ginger. This mess seems pretty damn complex, my dudes. If we want to get out of it, we're gonna need to do some actual galaxy brain planning. Oh, that's a Ace Attorney reference, is it? Cool. But if we don't at least try, we're never gonna get anywhere. Tisk tisk tisk, mon ami. Bill, it's not about getting anywhere, but about getting allwhere, always. What? Lame, dear. I think you just covered all dictionaries in existence in your slime. What would you know? Are you the Real Academy of English? The RAA? I don't know what that is. Cool. I think I'll go look somewhere else. I think I will. Good idea. Same. She is the best character, isn't she? Bill went back up the stairs to the main section of the bar. Who's this? Yo guys. Bill heard a shout coming from somewhere else in the bar. That voice was... Check the time. The time. Bill looked at his barman. 20 to 1. It took him a moment to realise what that meant. As if a light bulb had turned on in his head, he remembered that part of the rules ought to be precise the core rules. Every hour, all players present in the Golden Jack will have to participate in a council, where they can debate in order to find the rule number of the players and use accusations to eliminate them. Cool. Which meant there were 5 minutes left. If they didn't carry it out, they'd break the rules, resulting in... And the second he did, the device started beeping, an alarm. Quickly, he rushed to the centre of the bar, expecting to find everyone there. Was everyone there? Boop. The rest had the same thought. Upon arrival, half of them were already there. Hey, Billy. I just left you. The young woman greeted him enthusiastically. She'd been the one shouting earlier. Oh, it was, okay. It seemed weird to him that out of all of the people, she was the one to notice that they had to move. Interesting. Or at least the first one to warn everyone. If someone forgot the rules and didn't join the council, their fate would be sealed. It was good to see that at least one person there seemed to care for everyone's well-being. As soon as someone decided to play seriously, trying to win, everything would change. In that calm before the storm, with the game still in its early stages, they had to familiarise themselves with with it as fast as possible and prepare for the worst. Only a few minutes left. If we've got a debate, we need to look for a suitable place. Being together isn't good enough? What are we going to debate even? We still don't have much information, but we need to fulfill Rule 3 to survive. Someone has to give out their number. Yeah, well, more like lie about your number. And if the lie is proven, that person would have to reveal their real number. They all knew the consequences, but someone had to take that risk so everyone could survive one more hour. Playing the game was out of the question for him. Most likely, none of them wanted to seriously do it. Yet maybe they all would, all but him. He cared for his life, of course, but he would never approve of that sickening game. So as long as he could, he would rebel against it. I think we need to agree on one thing. The time had come, while everyone was still trying to wrap their heads around the game. For starters, killing wasn't an easy matter for the time being. Only number 1 could do it so directly. The only other way to do it was using the spiral, the objective that actually forced a kill by revealing someone's secret objective. However, according to the explanation of the barman, it wouldn't appear until the 6th hour. So the only way that they had to remove someone at that point was to figure out their number and then convince a majority to accuse them. It needed time and preparation to succeed, meaning that it was the perfect time to act. Maybe even the only one. He had to use it to create a peaceful deal with everyone, to prolong their lives as much as possible. What's that, Billy boy? She's French. Nobody wants their number revealed, but we need to give one fake number per hour until we've all done it. So we should agree on an order and promise to not point out the other's lies. We need to work together to get past rule number 3 without putting at risk our own number. Everyone there looked around, uncomfortable. At that moment, the rest arrived, Vodka being the last one, moving at his own pace. Come on, Gramps. Yes, you can. Don't force these old gears. Time doesn't wait. No, and in fact, we're almost out of time. What Bill offers would be fair, but we will have to talk about it during the council. So, where do we sit? Rules don't say anything on that, so I guess it's whatever. How about the counter? A little hard to see each other if we're all lined up. Yeah, one of the tables would be better. Oh, light bulb's on. Let's do it on the table, TM. Oh, please, no ads. I'm not paying no matter what extras it has. Or if you sell me 2 for the price of 1. I think she means the big table downstairs. Sure, seems like a good spot. Although, will it be big enough for all of us? Only one way to find out. Let's do it. Boop. One by one, they walked down the steps to the lower part of the bar, gathering around the big table. As seats, they borrowed some nearby chairs and sofas. Ba-dup. C'est magnifique. Now that's French. There is the arm for a chair. Where did that puff come from? Oh, it's a puff. Don't even think about taking it, it's mine. That doesn't answer my question. Unless it's literally yours and you had it hidden somewhere, somehow. I don't think that's it. You underestimate my power. What? Don't listen to her. We found it lying around here, and she's been craving to use it ever since. And I've brought one of the counter's tall stools for piano. I don't need that. You'll be too tiny with one of those chairs. I'm not tiny. But you want to be taller, right? Silently, he sat on the stool. The seats were being filled. Bill had to decide which to take. Perhaps noticing his indecision, Jin looked at him and pointed at the empty space on the sofa she was sitting on. The offer was too cozy to pass up. Once they sat down, everything was ready, just in time. So, now what? Excuse me if I'm a tad slow, but I still have barely a clue. Not alone there, Gramps. At that moment, the awaited time arrived. All barmans turned on with a new message. Your participation in the council is required until its closure. Close proximity barmans detected. No, close proximity barmans detected. All start requirements cleared. The council menu will be available during its course. This message won't be repeated in future councils. Okay. Before they could ready themselves, it started. The first council. Beyond our rule ripper. Oh, save it. Come on, spit it all out. What exactly? I don't know. Anything. Not anything. According to the rules, we debate using the data we have, and one person must fulfill Rule 3. I believe that last part should take priority. Anyone willing? Like I said before. Yes, we should consider Bill's proposal, if after that someone is willing to tell us the data they've received. About that, I think data should be kept secret for now, to protect everyone's numbers. But we wouldn't be playing the game then. That's the point. It's not like I wanna, but we'll die if we don't. We can avoid it for now, but sooner or later someone will. Okay. Let's calm down. We'll talk about that later, alright? Let's start with rule number 3. Excuse this interruption on this momentous occasion, but it is needed. Who am I, you ask? Let's just say I'm a voice in your head, one that not even the rule known as billiards can hear. Only you. Oh, for me. And don't mistake me for a mere narrator either. Introductions can wait. Before proceeding, an explanation about what's going to happen is essential. The first council is about to start. How exciting. During a council, your dominion over time will be restricted, or in other words, its flow will advance without your consent. Make sure to pay attention, do not miss a single phrase, but lucky for you, not all is outside your grasp. Your access to saves, loads and the drop pocket and the backlog will also be lost. However, your barman and the other menus will remain at hand so you can check any details. However, there's one exception to those limitations. You'll be able to save in a council during a timeout. That chance only comes once a council and not in all of them, so make good use of it. During councils, you'll have to make some decisions, as you probably imagined, but these ones will have a greater impact than the ones prior. And the only way to see all the possible paths is restarting the council anew. And with that, we reach the final key point. Your goal during any council. Maintaining its tension under control. Tension is a simple concept, barely in need of explanation. Fights, disputes, quarrels, suspense, all of those will increase the tension that the rules feel, and with it, the council's rhythm. If it gets too high, remaining in control will be impossible, and the only conclusion possible will be failure. If that happens, you'll have to go back to the start of the council or the timeout. So, do all you can to keep the tension low. That's where your choices will matter. The choices of words of the rule billiards. There is another way to influence tension, but I'll leave that explanation for later, when it becomes relevant. Do keep in mind, though, that not all shifts in tension will be consequence of your actions. However, even if it reaches its maximum due to others, only your mistakes will cause a defeat. Finally, before we begin, let's adjust the council's rhythm, or at least the part that's under your control, unaffected by the tension. Adjust the speed, message speed, and the weight before it disappears. This message will show the result. Find a balance between the difficulty and comfort. You must be able to read them. Okay. Right. Adjust the message speed. So, the lower the number, the slower. I feel like this is... okay. Adjust the message speed and the weight before it disappears. This measure will show the result. Find a balance between difficulty and comfort. You must be able to read them and understand them well without rushing nor losing a good rhythm. Once you're done, click the arrow on the right. Maybe that's fine. That might be fine. Well, I guess we're going to find out. A speed of 3 and a weight of 1. I see. So be it. You can change these settings at any time during a council in the Settings Pause menu. Right-click. My friend. Note that speed includes a 6th option, the last one, which makes all text appear immediately. This one was not included in these settings due to its impracticality in consoles, but it's still available on the pause menu if you wish for an impossible challenge. These settings will only apply to consoles. After their conclusion, they'll be saved for the next one and replaced back with the previous settings. Now it's finally time to start. I would wish you luck, but I do not believe you will need it in this council, and moreover, I am not on your side. I am only a neutral observer. Let the games commence. Blip, blop, blip, blop, blip, blop, blip, blop, blip. Okay, this is great. What do we do? I'm going to be honest, I was kind of focusing on doing the voice. I didn't really pay attention to what it was being said. That's cool of me, isn't it? The first council. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Bill? Yes, well, as I said, according to Rule 3, we all have to give out a number, one per council, until we've all done it. I'm guessing we can all agree that saying all of them at once isn't a good idea. It would make us too vulnerable. So the most reasonable option is agreeing on an order and swearing to not reveal the other's lies. Now that you mention it, young man, how does this revealing of lies work? It's on the clarification screen, with the death of the number's holder or using data and hints. So wait, if someone says the number 2, for example, and the real number 2 comes out, the fake one won't be considered a liar. Not unless the real 2 proves their identity. Right, we can claim to be whatever numbers we want, but we can't show the screen of our thing to prove it. Barman, it's named Barman. I know that already. If you say so. Okay. Okay, irrefutable evidence counts, like in a trial, I guess. So, what do you think? You missed one important detail. I wonder if on purpose. Which one? You said we all have to eventually fulfill Rule 3, 1 per hour. Well, I guess in theory whoever has that rule doesn't. What if they don't? Gotcha! I didn't mean that, but it is related. If the individual with Rule 3 dies, that rule disappears and we never have to worry about it again. Yeah, sure, but... if he says that, he can't be 3. Someone write that down. Well, that's what he wants us to think. Or maybe Bill didn't mention this detail because, in his head, the possibility of 3 dying is impossible, ergo, he is 3. Immediately, all attention focused on Bill. He wasn't expecting to end up in that situation. He didn't know his own number, and the data he'd received didn't rule out 3. Deny it. It's not me. Admit possibility. Oh... okay. Let's say there's a possibility. Because there is. He took a deep breath, tried to calm down, and spoke. I can't deny that I could be. But as Poker said, we shouldn't suspect so soon. Is that the right thing to do? It's still too soon to assume anything. When did I say that again? Uh-oh. Before? No bells ringing whatsoever. He said the other thing. Well, but it's true. It's still too soon to... It's not. We have 10 hours to end the game. Yeah, if we lose time, everyone but 4 dies. Maybe he's 4 and that's why he's trying to slow us down. Uh-oh. That's not good news. This isn't good. Everything's getting out of control. I'm only trying to be reasonable, but we can talk about that later. I should have been paying attention. Let's focus on this first, as we said. Yes, speculation can wait for later. So, back to what I was saying. What do you think? Time out. Okay. Back. Salutations again. I need to interrupt once more. Consider it a good chance to relax, but for a moment. How is the council going? Alright? No need to answer, I can't hear you. It's time to explain the last council topic. Interventions. Oh, we need to intervene with, poker. Sometimes during a council, a scene will be represented visually as a game of pool, or billiards, with each player shown as a ball bearing their symbol. No, not as a ball bearing, shown as a ball bearing their symbol. Don't panic, it's only an imaginary depiction. When a lighter gets cast on billiards is a dark brown ball and it starts to shake, an opportunity to intervene will present itself. You can then decide to change the course of the conversation for better or worse. Placing your cursor on top of the ball will let you see what Billiards is thinking. Use that information to predict what he will say if he chimes in, and press if you decide to take it. Intervening impulsively is risky, but so is hesitation. If you take too long, the shown intervention will disappear. And the only way back is starting the council from scratch. Unless the same opportunity comes back naturally, during the conversation. In any case, your authority to speed up time will come in useful. You do know what I'm talking about, right? Your control over time. Not to be confused with the other, more direct method. I may have said too much, but I wanted to make sure. On that note, time will slow down while you're inside Billiard's mind. By how much will depend on the text speed you've chosen. On top of that, the chosen wait time before each message disappears will give you more time to think and make a choice. You can increase it if you feel too pressured, or lower it if you prefer a more frenetic experience. Frenetic. That's that word. Very helpful tools, but don't relax too much, as each chance to intervene can last from a single phrase to who knows. You'll have to use your intuition and interpret the flow from You have to use your intuition and interpret the flow of the discussion. But don't stress over it too much. There's more than one path to victory. Usually, a perfect performance isn't needed. Just make sure to not let the tension build up too much, and sooner or later you'll reach a destination, be it a favourable one or not. Being your first time, however, I'll give you one small piece of advice. You do well in taking the first intervention to come. It will only last for one line, so there will only be a few seconds to take it. Be ready. You do well in taking the first intervention to... Okay, cool. Intervene when you can. That is all. With that, my council explanation is complete. Simple, right? And now the reason for his nickname should be obvious. I hope I didn't ruin that mystery too soon for you. Time to go back into action. Yay, Billiards. Okay, let's see if I got this. Bilbo's idea is that we make a bunch of rock, paper, scissors to decide the order of sacrifices in each council. Yes, except the rock, paper, scissors part you made up. That's Jin there. Well, whatever's details. Point is, somehow we'll choose an order that we'll have to promise to keep on with a blood oath.
I want no part in that. A blood infection is the last thing I need.
Also made up. Hey, blood oaths aren't made up. They're an important cultural thing somewhere, probably. Respect. Just admit you pulled that from your ass. Listen, no jokes here, this is serious. We decide an order, and we follow it. No need to overthink it. It's not that complicated. And furthermore, not revealing the other's lies. If we assume that Rule 3 will remain for a while, it's a reasonable proposal. Do the first one. I don't know what he said, though. For now, let's assume nobody will get eliminated. Was that the right thing to do? Nobody. That would be great, but that's hoping too much.
Heck, I might have a heart attack at any time, no killer needed.
Well, let's assume nothing will happen for a few hours, at least. Assumptions are great, except when our lives depend on them. Let's say we do it. 1 or 2 people say a number and then number 3 dies. The rest of us get saved, but what about them? Uh-oh. They won't get affected by the rule anymore. It's a needed sacrifice. I feel like this is a bit of a thing to say. This. Was that a good thing to say? As for if Rule 3 disappeared. Those who said a number, even if it's proven later that they lied, won't have to give their real one. Won't have to give their real one. So there's no consequences. Oh right, now I feel dumb. Then no problemo, right? Yay, we got a little boost. They seem to be getting it now. There's still hope. Like in Danganronpa. Everyone doing Rule 3 will lie. That's just a fact. So even if the rule goes away, those people will still be more vulnerable.
And why is that?
Please, that's obvious. We'll have 1 less number to suspect them for, because the one they gave would be incorrect. 1 more danger when it comes to Rule 3, albeit minor.
And what if someone doesn't lie?
Oh duh. If you say your real number, everyone will think you lied and won't suspect you. That tactic is way too risky. And now that you've said it, everyone will suspect whatever number you say. Uh-oh. Oh, poopy. Le poop. If number 3 is eliminated, that's a valid strategy. Otherwise, it's suicide. Uh-oh. How? Let's say, for example, that number 1 says their real number, trying to pass it off as a lie. If we accuse him of being number 1, he'll be eliminated. No kidding. That's why I said it was risky. But according to the rule... according to rule which was it? 6. She knows what's happening. 6. Yes, that one. Wait. How did you know which one I meant? Uh-oh. She can read minds. Well, Rule 6 says that if a majority fails after accusing someone, that person gets protected. So accusing someone of being the number they said is a double-edged sword. If it's true, they're out of the game, but if they lied, they become immune to future votes. I don't think someone looking to kill would accuse without being sure. In fact, the logical assumption is that nobody will tell the truth, so there's no point in accusing them. So telling the truth, although risky, can save you, at least in the short term. No, it's suicide. Listen, for your own good. It doesn't matter if there's a chance that they lied. Accusing someone of the number they gave will lead to their death. It won't happen right away. For a while, their survival will be guaranteed even, but not for long. If they're accused and it's incorrect, the lie will be proven, and they'll have to reveal their real number. Rule 6 will protect them for some time, but as soon as that rule falls, or the majority changes, they'll be the first to go. Silence. No objections, they all knew Jim was right. So basically, if you say the truth, you can be killed, and if you lie, you'll have it harder to survive later on. It may not guarantee your death, but lying is a far better option than the truth. This is no good. Wait a moment. That's only true if a majority accuses the one who gave a number. Would any of you really be okay with that? Heat raised. Many stares moved around the table, but nobody answered. They'd finally reached the core topic of the discussion. Rule 3 was urgent, but all of them knew deep down that somebody would fulfill it to avoid death. What was truly important was the game itself. Who would participate seriously? Who was mentally prepared to kill another human being? Oh, here we go again. This is it. I have to get through to them somehow. Let's try and focus on this. If I have to do it to survive, I will. What's this? Oh, okay, it's gone.
What a passion for life do the young ones have nowadays?
A kid his age shouldn't be making a choice like that. Should I try and convince them with ethics? Yeah.
Hit.
I understand how you feel, but... is your life really more important? Could you live happily after killing? Is this a good thing to say? If you manage to win the game and get out of here, will you be able to live with the guilt? A question both harsh and vital. We first met less than an hour ago. There's some people here that I simply don't see myself getting along with, but none giveth the look of a psycho. We all know that. Whatever happens, our lives won't be the same after this, but that doesn't mean death is the best option. Is this a good thing to have said?
I'm not so sure everyone here would feel guilty. Speak for yourself.
Chill, kid, I wasn't talking about you, unless you think otherwise.
Screw you.
Do you need a screwdriver for this very hypothetical scenario?
Stay out of this, weirdo.
Weirdo? You mean like how 0 is like a squished O?
What?
Well, I'm just stay quiet for a little bit. Listen, I get no enjoyment out of saying any of this, but hopefully nobody here does. But this is our reality now. You can be more aggressive or more passive, but it's not possible to keep ignoring the game. You can only do that if you already gave up, like the old man.
Is it that noticeable?
You admitted it a couple of times, I think. Besides, the hyperactive girl. You, sir, seem to be taking this the easiest. Oh, besides the hyperactive girl. I'm the hyperactive girl, right?
It's not that I'm looking forward to death, mind you, but I already did everything I planned to do in life. By no means was it the most satisfying life, but it's the one I had. I don't want these youngsters to take the bullet for somebody like me, already on my way to the grave. That's what's fair. I'll defend myself a tad, yes, but without getting the belt out. Can't do much with this pile of old bones anyways. They never were much good in the first place.
I get what you're trying to say, Bill, but like Poker said, I prefer living with that weight than dying in this place.
What's wrong with the bar?
Than dying in this game.
Well, fair enough, I suppose.
I don't like it one bit, but that's how it is. I have more than enough reason to want to live, and I imagine everyone else does too. Certainly, we must do all we can not to stain our hands with blood, while also protecting our very lives. even at the cost of others. Even if you keep saying that it's better than death, that you must protect, even if you're saying that it's better than death, you must protect your lives, that you don't like it, even if it's all true. When everything gets worse and somebody gets desperate, it will all fall apart in less than an hour. We could all be dead. No survivors. A game like this can corrupt anyone, and even if you survive, what you did will follow you for the rest of your life. Bill spewed out all that he'd been holding back, all his thoughts and fears. Everyone stared at him, making him even more nervous. They're all staring. You know, I'll give you that. Whoever survives this will have their life changed forever. That doesn't change my opinion, though. I prefer a tormented life to none at all. A tormented life. Maybe I'll go to hell later, but I'm not very religious, so it won't keep me awake at night. Even if the winner gets caught and goes to jail, it's still a damn better fate than dying here. How it's always been, a fight for survival. That's the society we've created. Strong survive by preying on the weak. This game is only an extreme microcosm of that. And just like society to survive, you have to follow the rules. Oh, I tried to click. It's the only way to survive. Is that... I want to click it. I got you. Is that really true? You think it's not? You're all assuming something that could be wrong. Enlighten us. The game could have some loophole. The poison could be a lie. It could have some loophole. You compared this game to our society. Sure, our society is far from perfect, but I don't see it as a fair comparison. Interesting. Continue. How do I say this? Basically, society has been created through generations going back centuries. But this game apparently has only one creator. Our kidnapper. This owner. They might be a psychopath, sick, crazy. But they are human, and no human is perfect. So before you throw yourselves in to playing the game seriously to survive at the cost of others, maybe we should look for the possible mistakes that might exist. There might be a way for all of us to get out of here alive, breaking the game from the inside. Huh. I didn't think of that. Dart's eyes open with clear surprise, which he unsuccessfully tried to hide. The rest of the group also seemed shocked. It was obvious once said out loud, but nobody seemed to have realised yet. Put in such a situation so distinct from anything they had lived before, they had instinctively jumped to one conclusion. This seems real. It's too elaborate to be false. Getting carried away by negativity, or for whatever reason, they had taken the owner's words as if they were absolute truth. Such a setting could only appear in fiction, never in real life, so the only insight that they could gain was through that fiction. A group of strangers are forced into playing a game where they have to kill or be killed. Traps or strategy to win dirty were the only alternative. No work of fiction could let the characters avoid the game entirely and escape without participating. There'd be no loophole, no error in the jail they'd been locked in. That's why automatically, unconsciously, they'd reached that conclusion. Yay! That's cool.
Bravo, young man. Maybe this youth is more promising than I believed. You, at least, could have a brilliant future.
Thank you, Vodka.
If we get out of here, of course.
Bing. That last bit wasn't needed, Gramps. I have to admit defeat. I hadn't considered that possibility. Me, neither. Sadly, I think I'm too negative in these types of situations. I've won everybody over? In these types, does this happen often to you or what? Of course not, it's my first time. But where can we get that where can that loophole be? How do we escape? I don't know. Then... Chill. Let's not crush poor Billy Bill with so much responsibility. Nice one. Maybe we can find something together. She's French. Exactly. I'm not saying it will be easy or even that this way out absolutely exists. But we can't give up without trying. Sounds good, but I honestly wouldn't know where to even begin. But I admit defeat in this debate, and with pleasure. No game is perfect, and with this level of complexity, it's even more likely that there's some huge mistake. I won't retract my words, but I agree with that. In that case, we could declare the council done, but before that... who will take the fall? Oh, Rule 3, duh. Silly me forgot already. We never reached any conclusion. Just because we agree about the game doesn't mean we agree with the others' proposal too. Ah. I say yes. Ball, you have my vote. Not accusing, I mean on this. Thanks, I guess, but the name... Not the best name. Letting chance decide would be fair. I give my support as well. Okay, fine. Let's just do it. I have one condition. What is that? What? I will agree to your proposal in its entirety, however. As a show of confidence in your own idea and to prove that you truly are ready to take a risk for it. We need you to lose a finger. We will decide the order at random, but you will be first by default. You mean... Billiards. Tell us, what is your number? Uh-oh. His heart started pounding violently. No, that had been the case during all the council, but he hadn't realised until that moment. It was simple. He only had to give out a number from 1 to 10. A number that wasn't his own. And thanks to the data he'd gotten, there were 4 numbers he could be sure of. But there was one huge problem. If for some reason his lie was discovered, he couldn't give his real one. He didn't know it. Which meant that if for everyone else being discovered was a death penalty, for him it was the execution itself. But Darts was right. If he wanted to be taken seriously, he had to show his resolve and take a step forward. It would help get their trust. It would protect them. But he didn't aim to participate in that game. He wanted to trust everyone, not seeing them as potential killers. He wanted to keep a positive outlook and not fall into the hands of the mastermind behind the game. That situation, that fear of death, was exactly what the owner seeked. If his life was of equal value to the rest, the choice was obvious. However, if his own life was more important, or maybe he should look at it as a necessary sacrifice so he could later reach the perfect end he yearned for. Even so, taking that step, jumping into the unknown, was something that only a few were mentally capable of. Billiards was a normal guy, nobody special, someone you could find anywhere. He was no hero, no daredevil, not the type to jump into danger. Could he really put his life on at stake for everyone's sake? Stake's sake. He had to give an answer. Here we go. I'm gonna have to accept. Accept. Bing. My number is 1. Oh. If he refused, he said my number is not 1. Some people do not care in this lineup. Council completed. Congratulations, all present players have overcome the first tower. As a gift, the antidotes for the next hour will be delivered shortly. Drinking them as soon as possible is advised to avoid secondary effects of the poison and death. The owner. Chapter. End. Cool. Exciting. Introduction interviews unlocked in the profiles menu. Billiards, lime, cocktail, gin, darts. Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Alright, and that is another episode of Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Go check it out, it's on Steam now. If you're watching this on YouTube. It's out tomorrow. Toriv says, you did it, yeah, we did it. That was fun. That was tense. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Have a great evening, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.